I ordered this off of Amazon a few days ago, and it has arrived. And what it is, it's an automatic reel with the airline hose for my air tools. I'll show you what I have now, besides a big mess. My airline lays on the floor in here, and when I want it, I have to drag it out, and it's always getting caught on stuff. It's just a pain. It's laying on the floor, taking up floor space. So I bought this airline reel, and I think what I'm going to do is mount it up here on the wall. I may mount it over here, but pretty sure I'm going to put it over there. Then it'll be out of my way. I won't be running into it. And then it's got about a 5-foot lead hose on it. I can drill a hole, run it inside here, hook it up to my compressor, and then I don't have to drag the hose out when I need it. I can just pull it out of the spool up there on the wall. I'll be good to go. So let me get this camera set up. We'll unbox this baby and see what she looks like. Hopefully you can see this okay. I cut the box open. Looks like it's got a lot of protection. Nice thick styrofoam. It's got some, those are lag bolts for going into concrete. I don't think I'll be using those. Let's see how heavy this thing is. Lots of protection, lots of styrofoam. Really thick on the bottom and top. A little thinner on the sides. I'm just looking in the box here to make sure I'm not missing anything. That looks like everything. All right. So it's wrapped in plastic. That's good. Plastic on. I guess you guys can see me okay. I just bought a bunch of nuts and bolts and stuff from a guy. Because every time I need a bolt, I have to run to Ace Hardware. No matter what it is, I never have bolts. Now, maybe these will work on wood, but if I remember right, no, that was the other one. I ordered something like this for my garden hose too, because I got tired of messing with it. So this is going to mount on the wall like that. So I may have to add another board inside to give it plenty of support. I'll have to look and see what I have in there. It might go on a corner, but I'm looking forward to it. Once it's mounted, I can just pull it out however far I want and it'll stop. And I think you just give it a quick tug. Yep, it'll go back. This is the lead hose that you, guess I gotta hook that up myself. There we go. So here's the lead hose. I guess it's only 3 feet long, so it's good I'm going next to my compressor. And it looks like this screws onto the side here. There's an end cap. This will screw onto there. I'll have to put some Teflon tape on there, make sure it's airtight. And then this will plug into the compressor. Oh, yeah, I think I can get this to plug into the compressor. Looks like both ends are about the same. I was kind of wanting to put a quick release on it. I'll just have to look at my compressor. So once I get this mounted to the wall, figure out how I'm going to do it, I'll make another video. But this is going to be so much better. Let me see if it says on the box here. Has the weight. It has a 50-foot hose on it. And I usually, let me pull this I'm gonna flip you around again here. So this is where I usually work on cars. I've got this extra driveway and I put in this awning here. So it helps protect me from the sun. So I try to park cars here when I'm gonna work on them. Having that rail over there is really gonna help. It's gonna be so much more convenient. And I'm thinking I may do something similar if I can find a reel. I have a 100-foot extension cord, which I'm always dragging around and having to fold back up. It's laying on the ground there. I've got it ran out to my trailer because we're going to split a bunch of firewood today and I'm going to film it. This way I can keep my phone on my charger. But that's it for now for the unboxing part. I'll figure out, well, while I have you guys on the camera, we'll go in here and take a look. I built this shop about 3 years ago. It was a heck of a lot cheaper for lumber, plus I did it myself, so instead of paying $4,000 or $5,000, whatever they wanted, I think I ended up with $2,000 in the 8x16 shed. Now here's my compressor. Now, as you can see in the corner there is a 2x4 sideways. I might be able to lag bolt that reel right there to that. It's going to be right on the corner trim, but that's okay. I'll put some caulk on it. This is right on the outside of the building, so there's a 2x4 behind there. So either I'll do that or I'll add another 2x4 in behind there. Once I figure out what I'm doing, I'll come back, make a part 2, or else add it to this video. Thanks for watching. If you need an air hose or have an air hose and you're tired of fighting with it, I would highly recommend one of these. Like I said, it came from Amazon. This one's made by Giraffe. I had a lot of good reviews, and with the 50-foot hose, it will do what I need it to do. And if I need to do something more, because once in a while I have a car sitting out there, I need to take off a bolt or something like the lug nuts, and I just can't get it into the shed or into the awning, that I can use my other hose and hook it up to this one. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys after a while. Well, I got my airline air hose mounted. Oh, I had some 2-inch lag bolts, so I put those in there. And if you get I pre-drilled my holes. I'm not sure if my bit is still out here. There it is. So in my case, it was about a 1/4 inch drill bit made for wood. I marked them out. It's 2 1/4 inches between. Let me get that back down a little bit. It's 2 1/4 on the narrow side and 5 3/4 up and down. So I marked it out on the wall, pre-drilled my holes, and then if you put your bottom 2 lag bolts most of the way in, you can hang the bracket there. Now I tried to take the bracket apart so I could just work with it without the hose, but this is spring loaded. So once you start taking it apart, it starts unwinding, so that's not a good thing. So I went ahead and I got my little Chemo 90-degree cordless ratchet out, and that my bolts happen to be, what were they? 13 millimeters. Of course, depending on what you use, but this little 90-degree thing fits right up in there, and I was able to run my bolts in without any problem. Now inside of my shed, I have a 2x4 sideways and then another 2x4 right next to it. So I had about 5 inches of room to work with, so it worked out really good for me, depending on where you're putting it. But you're going to need something about 4 inches wide so you don't split it. Now, originally I tried to mount my thing the other way, so this air hose came over the top. But when I did that, I didn't have enough room for the They only give you 3 foot. And I couldn't get that to connect to my compressor without turning my compressor. So I turned it upside down. So now the hose comes out at the bottom, which is fine. It's no big deal. And I drilled a 3/4 inch hole in the wall here. And that was big enough. It's the biggest spade bit I had at the time I could find. And it was big enough that after I took this back off, I run it through the wall, hook it back up, and then on the inside, on my compressor, it had another air fitting here. Where'd you go? It had this one on there, but I never use it. It didn't seem like it works very good. I always use this one. So I took the other one out and I put the air hose right into there, screwed it in, and I put Teflon tape on it. That's that white tape. Looks like that. And that way I don't have any leaks. So I put Teflon tape on here, put Teflon tape on the inside, and then I had a rubber hose that I hardly ever use because it's too short. I took the end off of it and put it on the long hose on the reel because it doesn't come with a fitting. So if you don't have fittings, you'll have to get some fittings. But this is going to be a lot handier when I need air than going inside, getting my hose, dragging it out. And that orange one is plastic, so it's kind of stiff when it's cold. It doesn't want to roll up or unroll. And the rubber one's just too short. I hardly ever use it. So this is going to help me a lot. I'm looking forward to using it. If you guys are tired of fighting with your air hoses, get one of these. What did I say it was made by? I forgot the name of it. Let me look it up real quick here. Giraffe. Giraffe tools. The particular one I got, it's the 3/8 inch hose with the 50 foot long. It's 3/8 by 50 foot, and that'll get me by just fine. I just tinker on cars, fix them up, sell them. I'm not a regular mechanic, so you might need a bigger hose if you're doing this full time. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody out. It doesn't look too bad up there on the wall, and it's just going to be really easy to get to. Thanks for, oh, something else. I ended up putting it on the trim board, and there was a gap on this side, and I had a piece of my cedar fencing here laying around, so I just cut off 2 inches of that, and that fit right in between the 2 bolts I put on, and that took up the space here, as you can see, so it's nice and solid. I think that'll be there as long as I need it there. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe.